At my sister's wedding, she looked me dead in the eye and said, "You're dead to me. Don't ever contact me again." The entire wedding party gasped. What she didn't know was that her new husband, the billionaire she'd just married, had been the target of my year-long undercover operation with the FBI. And in exactly 6 months, I'd be the one watching him get arrested at their anniversary party. My sister Emma and I used to be best friends. Growing up in a middle-class family in Denver, we shared everything: clothes, secrets, dreams about our future. I was 2 years older and she was the classic little sister who followed me everywhere. Our parents, both teachers, raised us to value education, hard work, and family above all else. Emma was always the more social one, the one who dreamed of designer clothes and fancy cars while I buried myself in accounting textbooks. After college, I became a compliance officer at a mid-sized investment firm, while Emma worked in marketing for a local startup. We lived in the same city, had dinner every Sunday with our parents, and talked almost daily. That all changed when Emma met Richard Castellano at a charity auction in 2019. Richard was everything Emma had ever dreamed of: tall, handsome, charming, and supposedly worth $800 million from his revolutionary investment fund. He drove a different Lamborghini every week, owned a penthouse downtown, and threw parties that local news stations covered like they were royal events. From their first date, I could see Emma changing. She started using words like networking and diversified portfolios in casual conversation, even though she'd never shown interest in finance before. She'd always been confident, but now there was something different, an arrogance that made family dinners uncomfortable. "Richard says people like us think too small," she told me one evening after he'd been courting her for just 2 months. "He says I have so much potential that I'm wasting in my current environment." The way she said, "people like us," made my stomach turn, like we were somehow beneath her now. Within 6 months, Emma had quit her job, moved into Richard's penthouse, and started what she called learning the business. She attended every charity gala, every investment conference, every high society event in Colorado. Her Instagram transformed from casual family photos to carefully staged shots of her in designer gowns at exclusive venues. But the real change wasn't in her lifestyle, it was in how she treated us. The first sign of trouble came during Mom's birthday dinner. Emma arrived 2 hours late, dressed in what she later told us was a $15,000 outfit. She spent the entire meal on her phone, taking calls from what she called international investors. "Sorry, this is a major deal," she said, not looking up from her screen. "Richard's fund is expanding into Asian markets. We're talking hundreds of millions." Dad put down his fork. "Emma, it's your mother's birthday." She finally looked up, and for a moment I saw annoyance flash across her face. "Dad, you don't understand the level we're operating at now. When Richard calls, I have to answer. This isn't some 9-to-5 job." The worst part was how she talked about money. Every conversation somehow turned into her lecturing us about wealth building and generational thinking. She'd criticize Dad's teacher pension, Mom's modest savings account, my limiting beliefs about money. "You could be making so much more, Sarah," she told me after I'd mentioned getting a small promotion. "Richard says compliance officers at real firms make at least $300,000. You're selling yourself short at that little company." When I tried to explain that I liked my job, that not everything was about money, she actually laughed. "That's exactly the mindset that keeps people poor." The breaking point came at Christmas. Emma arrived with Richard for the first time, and it was like watching a performance. He was polite, charming, everything